Today, we are digging into a topic that honestly affects every single one of us: clear communication. We're going to figure out how to make our writing as solid and, well, as unshakable as a rock.
You know that feeling, right? You've got this brilliant idea in your head, but when you try to write it down for a report, an email, whatever, it just comes out as a jumbled mess. It's like you're trying to describe this magnificent mountain range, but all you're doing is handing someone a pile of sand.
So what if I told you that the secret to fixing this comes from a field that deals with some of the most complex systems on the entire planet? Yep, we're talking about geology. Geoscientists have to communicate these huge, intricate ideas, and it turns out their methods can teach us all a thing or two about real clarity.
So let's do it. Let's borrow the geologist's toolkit. We're going to learn how to structure our ideas with the exact same precision that they use to analyze the layers of the Earth.
And it all starts right here with the paragraph. I want you to think of each paragraph as a single rock sample. See, a geologist would never mix different types of rock in one sample bag, right? And a great writer doesn't mix different ideas into one paragraph. This is the foundational unit. It is the literal bedrock of clear writing.
Okay, so how do we actually build one of these perfect, super-focused paragraphs? Well, lucky for us, there's a blueprint. It's a really simple three-part structure that you can use every single time.
And here it is. Every solid paragraph has these three things. First, you start with a topic sentence. That's your main point, your big claim. Then you back it up with supporting sentences. This is your proof, your data, your examples. And finally, you just wrap it all up with a concluding sentence that neatly summarizes the point. It's simple, it's powerful, and it absolutely works.
Now, let's see a strong topic sentence in action. This one comes straight from a geoscience paper. Boom, just like that, you know exactly what this paragraph is going to be about. Why data quality is so important. There's no confusion, no slow wind-up, just a clear, direct claim right at the top.
So once you've made that claim, you got to support it. Your supporting sentences are where you really build your case. You can use hard data, you can give some concrete examples, explain why your point even matters, or maybe walk the reader through a process step by step. This is how you turn a simple claim into a really convincing argument.
And this brings us to what might be the most important rule of all. If a sentence, no matter how interesting or clever you think it is, doesn't directly support the main idea of that paragraph, you have to be ruthless. Cut it. Seriously. This kind of discipline is what separates focused, powerful writing from just rambling.
Okay, so we've built our solid paragraph bricks. Now, how do we actually connect them together to build a strong, coherent wall of an argument? The secret, my friends, is all in the flow. This is what we call coherence. It's that smooth, logical connection that guides your reader effortlessly from one idea to the next. Without it, you've just got a pile of bricks. But with it, you have a solid structure. And the best tools for the job are transition words. Let's look at a few. When you need to show an opposing idea, words like however or on the other hand are basically signposts for your reader. They're signaling, okay, hey, get ready, we're changing direction here. This prevents any confusion and it makes your logic crystal clear.
And it's the same thing when you want to show a direct consequence. Words like as a result and therefore become your best friends. They create this really clear chain of reasoning, connecting an action to its outcome, which is, the heart of almost any strong argument.
All right, we've got the structure, we've got the flow. Now it is time for that final polish. These are just a few high-impact grammar points that'll make your writing not just clear, but also really professional and precise. So this is a classic mix-up, and it can really mess with your clarity. The rule is actually super simple. ING describes the thing that causes the feeling. The research was exciting. ED describes the thing that receives the feeling. The researchers were excited. Getting this one right makes your meaning instantly sharper. Next up, collocations. Now that sounds fancy, but it just means words that naturally sound good together. For example, you draw a conclusion. You don't really make one. You make an effort. You don't do one. Using these correct pairings makes your writing just sound way more fluent and professional. It shows how tiny word choices can have a really big impact.
And here's a quick tip on articles. Use the word the when you're talking about something that's unique or one of a kind. Think superlatives, the largest, the best, or specific, singular things like the central database. It's a small detail, but it adds another layer of precision.
So after our little geological expedition into the world of writing, what have we actually packed in our toolkit?
let's do a quick recap of the essential gear for clear communication.
So, what's in the toolkit? First, you're going to build your argument from solid blocks using that three-part paragraph blueprint: claim, evidence, summary. Then, you're going to use transition words as the mortar to cement those blocks together into a smooth, logical flow. Add that final professional polish with precise grammar, and always, always remember the golden rule: be ruthless and ship away anything that just doesn't belong.
And you know, the best part is this isn't just for geologists writing academic papers. Whether you're sending a critical email to your boss, building a presentation for a new client, or even just trying to explain a cool idea to a friend, this toolkit just works. It helps you build arguments that are powerful, persuasive, and pretty much impossible to misunderstand.
So, I'll leave you with this question to chew on. Now that you're armed with this geologist's toolkit for unshakable clarity, what's the first big, complex idea that you're going to go out there and explain?